my laptop, and we're seeing here it's automatically connecting. If I jump back in here to basics, we're going to take a look at some of our basic information. We can see things like our coolant temperature and air temperature. Coolant temperature showing 82, air temperature showing 67. They're pretty close to each other. In the garage right now, my ambient temperature showing about 68 to 70 degrees on the dyno tower, so I know that's about what it's going to be at in terms of temperature. The coolant temperature here is a little bit hotter because I did have the engine running about an hour ago, so it's cooled down to about 82 degrees. Normally these would be fairly close to each other. This is a reasonable, looking at both of these are reasonable readings to each other now that they have the engine cooled down. We don't want to see that one of the two the readings here is way off from the other on when the engine's cold. So you don't want to find that if the engine hasn't been fired up, everything's cold, that your coolant temperature showing 190 degrees when it should show ambient temperature. So that's kind of the first check. Those two sensors look calibrated, and they should be because they're using the factory data from our plug and play base file. Now, battery voltage is weak, 11 volts. That's going to be a problem, so I'm going to have to put this on a charger before we fire it up and do any actual tuning. I'm going to have to do that as soon as this video is ended. I'll get it on a battery tender and make sure that that voltage looks reasonable. Looking throughout the rest here, we have our map pressure sensor. This is reading 97.8 kPa. Now, I am at approximately sea level at my location here, so the elevation is about 300, 400 feet above sea level, approximately sea level. This should be approximately 100 kPa, key on, engine off, in terms of the map pressure reading. We still need to calibrate it. We want to make sure that this is calibrated right, but this is a reasonable reading from the map sensor. So we know the calibration scale we put in there is correct. Now, what we're going to do here is two things. One, we're going to do a map sensor calibration process, and two, we're going to go and calibrate the throttle position. So if you look here, the throttle position is reading 0. We can see right now I'm giving it some movement of the throttle. We need to make sure that it's tracking 0 to 100% correctly. 0% specifically is important because things like our deceleration fuel cut and our idle control rely on having the throttle position registered properly when we're off throttle at 0%. So let's move in here real quick. Let's do our checks. So we'll go up here into our ECU controls. First, we're going to do our map sensor calibration. It's going to ask me, do you want to perform the map sensor calibration? I'm going to say yes here. And then the map sensor calibration command completed successfully. So what this is doing is looking at and comparing the map pressure sensor to the baro pressure. The baro pressure is already calibrated. It's on board on the link, and it's going to make sure that the map pressure sensor identically matches the baro pressure for key on, engine off. We always want to do this anytime we're uploading a new base file to the link and starting off. You want to make sure that these are calibrated in unison, and if you don't, you can definitely have some problems. So we want to do that first. Next thing is going to be the TPS calibration. ECU controls, TPS setup, and we can see here the ECU must be connected. It looks like it just went offline as soon as I went to go ahead and upload that. Now, let's jump in here real quick. Let's give this a second here. My laptop is slowing down all of a sudden. So what I'm going to do here is turn the ignition key on, and then we're going to go ahead and upload the file to the link, and then we're going to go and do our basic sensor check, make sure everything is in order here. So let me go ahead and key on here real quick, and we should find it connects. There we are connected. We can see on the online status up here in the right corner that we are connected. So what we're going to do right now is go to File and go to Open, and we saved the file already to our folder. We can see it right here, base cal. It's going to ask me, select yes when to open the file and download the settings to the ECU. Is exactly what we want to do here. Or no to disconnect from the ECU before opening the file. That'll put us on the offline mode. We were just in the offline mode. We want to be online, and we want to go and transfer the file that we've created and saved already to the link. So let's go ahead and do this. So we're going to say yes right here, and it's going to ask us, do we want to perform a store, making it permanent on the link? And we'll also say yes here as well. So we'll say yes, and then give that a second. The store has been completed, and now we're ready to take a look at the data here. So jumping into the basics section, we're going to find that we have our engine coolant temperature and air temperature right here. We can see that front and center. They're pretty close to each other. Now, the ambient temperature in my garage is approximately 65 to 70 degrees. That's reported from the dyno tower here. I'm sitting on the mainline dyno with the vehicle, and I know that's the approximate temperature. So the air temperature here, the calibration, is right in between where I'd expect it to be at. So that's good. The engine coolant temperature is a little...
Thanks for checking out our teaser clip. If you want to see the rest of this video and more than 500 hours of current EFI training we have to offer, make sure you click right here. If you want to go and check out more teaser clips from this training course, click here. And you don't want to miss any of the videos we're going to be releasing on this channel, so make sure you subscribe and click here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.